All right, today we're cracking the code on a true tabletop legend, the APBA Baseball Card. Our whole goal here? To take this grid of what looks like random numbers and turn it into a language you can speak fluently. Let's get into it. And wow, Wesley Hall really hit the nail on the head, didn't he? I mean, look at that thing. At first glance, it's just a total jumble. It feels completely random. But somehow, hidden inside all that chaos is the statistical soul of a baseball player's entire season. So that's the big question, right? How in the world does APBA take hundreds of at-bats, all the drama, the hits, the strikeouts, and boil it all down into this one little card? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out. To really get this, you have to think of it like you're learning a new language. Seriously, it's a language made up entirely of numbers, where every single digit, every color, tells a piece of a story about how that player performs. You know, at its heart, the card is actually pretty simple. You've got two six-sided dice, right? That gives you 36 possible combinations. This card is basically a map, where every single one of those 36 spots leads to a specific outcome, all perfectly weighted to match how that guy played in real life. So here's the crucial part. Before we can read the numbers, we've got to understand how the game even gets to them in the first place. Let's just walk through the basic gameplay loop. It's really just this simple four-step dance, and it happens on every single play. You roll the dice, you get a two-digit number, say 35, you find that black number on the card. Then you look at the little red number right next to it, that's your result. You take that number over to the game charts, and boom, it tells you exactly what happened. A single, a flyout, it all follows that same path. Okay, so we've got the process down. Now for the fun part, let's start translating those little red numbers into actual baseball. This is where the card really starts talking to you. Let's start with the fireworks. Any red number from 1 to 6, those are your power numbers. When you see one of those pop up, you know something big could be about to happen. This is where a player's ability to hit for doubles, triples, and of course home runs all lives. Okay, next up, we've got the numbers 7 through 11. Think of these as the workhorses of the card. These are the hit numbers. For almost every player, this is where most of their singles are going to come from. The more of these a guy has, the better his batting average is probably going to be. And then you've got the definites, the absolutes. A red 13, it's a strikeout. Every time. No ifs, ands, or buts. A red 14 is a walk. These two numbers are so important, they're a direct reflection of a player's eye at the plate. Now, this is where it gets really clever. As you can see here, not all power numbers are created equal. Take a look. The number 1 is king. It's almost always a home run. But a number 5, that's a home run only if there are runners on base. A 6 is a pretty reliable double. This little hierarchy is part of the game's genius. It captures that situational hitting perfectly. And that right there brings us to the true magic of ABBA. See, a batter isn't just hitting in a bubble. The card you're looking at is only half the story. The other half is all about the pitcher on the mound and the fielders standing behind him. Here's exactly how it works. So let's say a batter rolls a red number 8, which is a single on his card. Now, if he's up against a grade D pitcher, a guy who's just serving up batting practice, that's a clean base hit. But what if he's facing a grade A ace, a real Cy Young candidate? Well, that same exact roll now gets turned into an out. The pitcher's skill literally reaches out and changes the result on the batter's card. It's this interaction that makes the game feel so real. And that right there is why this game has stuck around for decades. It's not just batter versus pitcher. It's this beautiful, interwoven system where every single roll of the dice is a negotiation between the hitter, the pitcher, and the defense. So now that you've got the fundamentals, I'm going to let you in on the expert's shortcut. This is how the longtime players can just glance at a card and instantly know if they're looking at a superstar or utility guy. And honestly, it's easier than you think. It's just a quick 3-step scan. First thing, your eyes go right to the dice rolls, 31 and 51. If you see 2 8s, you've got a great hitter. 2 14s, probably a weak one. Next, you just count the power numbers, the 1s, the 5s, the 6s. That tells you his home run pop in a second. And finally, just count up all the 14s on the whole card. That's a direct measure of his on-base skills. With this little checklist, you can size up any card in about 5 seconds. No joke. So there you have it. The code is cracked. That jumble of numbers now tells a clear story. A story of power, of patience, of performance. So the only real question left is, Now that you have this knowledge, what kind of team are you going to build? Who's your cornerstone player? The game is waiting.